everybody, it's your girl Pajama with Pajama Life. And today we have some really fun and interesting and the end of an era. We are going to watch Ghosted with Chris Evans and Anna de Armas on Apple TV Plus. Gonna watch the series finale of The Next Generation, Picard. And we're going to talk about the Netflix series spy thriller, The Night Agent. But I can't do it by myself when I have my buddies next to me. And let's say hi to the guru of all things Star Wars. Say hey to the people. David?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. What a great set of films I think that we're going to be talking about. So set your course for adventure and your weapons for stunning, and let's talk some fun stuff tonight. Yes, I can't get any cheesier. If I had a platter of Colby Jack and Gruyere in the other hand, let's talk some movies.
And I know you meant me looking stunning as usual.
Well, you always do. You always do. And in a Star Trek shirt.
And here is our master of all things, Marvel. Say hey to the people, Patrick.
You know, I'm going to have to start going before David because David just totally destroys it on the intros, and I'm just left here. I'm like the poor maid at the end of the Carol Burnett show, sweeping up the stuff after everybody left, and that's an old person joke, and all of us should get it because we're all that right generation. So
Amen.
Here we are. Good stuff. I missed one of the three, but the other two I'm ready to talk about, and I got opinions.
I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts, but let's look at the first. Well, I guess it's not his first outing after not being Captain America. Chris Evans and Anna de Armas in Ghosted. Let's take a look. Well, that's as much look as we're gonna get. We don't have any trailers, so let's talk about Ghosted. David, tell me what you thought of your secret girlfriend as a spy, CIA spy, assassin, ninja.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know anything about this movie when I saw it on the call sheet to watch, part of our homework. Thank you. What a wonderful, fun thing to watch. What a great combo casting. You've got Captain America and Anna. I really enjoyed the story. And I like the fact that sometimes in these kind of date movie kind of meet cutes, the guy's going to be the super secret agent. Not always the case. Fun show. Enjoyed it. Highly recommend this movie. She's so lovely, and she is an Academy Award nominated actress at this point. It is what it is, but fun movie. I enjoyed it. I'm going to I might even watch it again tonight. And I don't often say that.
Yeah.
Always when we do it. I'm going to go back tonight.
Well, I don't know. Okay. I wanted to love it more than I did. How about that? It did have some moments. I think there are a series of cameos in the middle that kind of saved it for me. I won't say who they are, but that was pretty funny. I didn't get why Adrian Brody had some weird accent that kept going in and out. I was like,
you're not supposed to notice that.
Your own voice, dude.
You're not supposed to notice that.
I know. You're not supposed to notice that because I'm an American. I was like, why does he have this accent? That don't make sense. And then I just couldn't really buy little teeny tiny Anna de Armas going around beating up dudes a foot taller and about 100 pounds more than her.
She's wiry. She's wiry strong.
Really? She's like punching them out and hitting them. I was like, girl, your fist looks like a flower and on a stem, and you punching out these big dudes. Come on now. And Chris Evans, I was just kind of like, okay, he's the needy guy. Chris Evans, have you seen him? Hello. I was like, and one little other aside, these are just things I didn't like, but then I'll talk about what I like. I did not care for Amy Sedaris being Chris Evans' mother. She is not old enough to be that man's mother. I was like, that's a bullshit how they do women in Hollywood. But I did like the action besides seeing her fight. I was like, come on. But I did think there were some funny moments in it. And I thought it was it was almost like, I think they had one cuss word and no sex. So
disappointing.
No, and I'm like, look, I'm ready to see Chris Evans hot, sweaty, and sticky, baby. So this one, it's definitely something the whole family can watch. It's something fun, popcorn, light. So I just kind of, I don't know. I just wanted like more teeth, and it was more like a kitten versus a tiger. So
okay,
both are lovable, but so
well, since his Instagram wardrobe malfunction, Chris Evans has tried to go for a little bit more on the
can you point me to it?
They scrubbed the internet, Pam. Sorry.
Woo!
All right.
Yeah.
Captain America, you are being paged to guest star on Pajama Life. We'll see what happens.
Come and join us, Big Daddy. So definitely, I think you want to check out. It's a nice, fun, lighthearted action comedy, Ghosted. Okay, up next, set your phasers on stun and get your tissues out and make it so with the finale of Star Trek Picard, The Next Generation. That's what it ended up being. Pat, talk about what you thought of Picard.
I loved it. I mean, I love The Next Gen. It's a little sad to see some of them looking so old. And which is, I mean, that's just time. It's one thing you can't escape, can't travel it. But Pam don't like that anyway.
Don't.
Like I said, it was a little distressing to see some of them looking so old. Beverly Crusher looked rough. I mean, she looked really like she had a lot of work, and I hadn't seen her in quite a while. But John, Patrick Stewart, he looks older. Everybody looked older in Worf, with the silver
Worf
fox
looked
thing
amazing.
He still looks good. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
And okay, wait a minute, Patrick. Can I just add to that? Why is an android old? Why is an android
they addressed that in
old?
season 2. They addressed that. They did address that because he was trying to have the human experience, and he felt that it enhanced his understanding of humanity to get older, so he made himself look older. So that's cool. I mean, that was a good technical way to get around that, so that Brent Spiner could continue to age, just instead of having to try to digitally regress him, a la Harrison Ford. Overall, I love this. This was a great callback. It was emotional. You got to see some people that you hadn't seen in a while. Ensign Lauren. Ro Lauren. Thank you. Mm-hmm. What a baller way to go out. Really good. Overall, the whole thing was really good. It was interesting to see the Skrulls make it into the Star Trek universe, because that's what it felt very much like. This was if you want to see what Secret Invasion is going to look like with Nick Fury, watch this season, and you're going to get a preview of how it's going to go when they get to the Marvel universe. And it's not the Changelings; it'll be the Skrulls, which are basically the Marvel universe's version of the Changelings. And it was interesting to see Amanda Plummer as the villain.
Was it Amanda Plummer or was it Dale Dickey?
Nope, Amanda Plummer was the first one on the Shrike.
Right.
I think of her as Honey Bunny from
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. Because that is where she cut her teeth and made herself a real name, not just living in her dad's shadow.
Yeah.
Super, super good. And they tied up all the ends nicely and had a good concluding feel to it with the last scenes, and I mean, just overall, I mean, I can see they could go somewhere with it if they wanted to, because there's some surprise guest relatives that show up in this. But overall, just super solid. I love Star Trek. I watch that one. That's just background stuff. I just love every bit of it. It's all great. Yeah, I know. Boldly go. Thank you, Pam.
Well, let me go in the middle.
Okay.
I just sandwich it a little bit.
All right.
I didn't quite love it. Because I thought I was waiting for something original, and they just went back to the Next Generation and just kind of redid the Next Generation with the same villain. And so, I mean, if you're going to bring back a villain, bring back the bugs that were taking over. It was like, it was the bugs without the bugs, and then the big box baddie. And I was like, and here's another point. If you're going to bring everybody back. Because why wasn't Whoopi Goldberg back? I didn't like that.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg didn't want to do it.
Did she say she didn't want to do it?
I'm pretty sure I'm sure they offered her, and she either didn't want to take the money that they were offering, or they didn't want, she didn't want to do it again.
Nah, I didn't like that at all.
Well, I mean, you can't
or they could have brought that young woman they had last season and said, "Oh, I'm stuck in this young body. Just deal with it." That would have been cool too. But to have all of the original characters and then not to have her, I was kind of like, And Wesley Crusher. Why not bring Wesley Crusher back?
Season 2. He was in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to, if you're going to bring them all back, bring them all back.
He's got commitments. I mean, this is the only thing
now. He's got
that
important post-game show that he hosts.
He does do.
He could have popped up. Isn't he some kind of wanderer or traveler or whatever? He could have popped up on the ship and said, "Hey, Ma, hey, oh, I got another brother. Cool." And then left, popped out. But I just, it was so, and y'all know I love a good reboot, but it was so much. It wasn't original. But Amanda Plummer was amazing as the Shrike, and the when they had her talking to the being, and that was super cool. To see Geordi and see his daughter, his real life daughter. I just thought that was super lovely. And I love the way they did Geordi's character, because he wasn't having it. And I was like, all right, he's not the young starstruck kind of dude. He's like, look, I got my kids. I don't want to be out here. Get me off of this. I ain't trying to. I
did my time. I ain't going back.
Yeah. Right. I was like, look, get me off this. Like every good Black character would do. So I really love Geordi. But I didn't know why Commander Troy, Marina Sirtis, why she wasn't really in there either. If you know, I was just kind of like, oh, what's going on? So,
well, she didn't do a lot of combat action stuff in the series. So
yeah, I really did not like the son. I did not like Beverly's son.
His age was wrong.
It was just his character.
Too old.
Like
he should have been in his 20s. I mean, just based on the storyline that they gave you. Me and my wife watched this, and we both had comments about that. Like, he's misaged. He's like 30 something, and he's supposed to be 20 something because
was he?
Based on the timeline that they were well, first off,
right.
How did Beverly Crusher have a kid at that age? I'm just saying.
Well, it is Star Trek, 23rd century.
Yeah, I mean,
they can
that's all. I'm sure technology could let you have a kid at 90.
Beam each other places. So I guess that ain't nothing. Whatever.
Yeah. I think they figured out the human genome. Awkward. Yeah, it was just, and I just didn't like how they wrote him.
He was fine.
He was kind of like weird.
He was likable.
He wasn't, and I was like,
Well, they did what they're supposed to do.
I was
well,
like,
I'd seen that actor in You on Netflix, which is is a minor spoiler. So I was really excited to see him in that role. I think the comment about the age, I think, is well placed if I had been thinking about it closer. But man, I really enjoyed this. I thought, now this is the way you bring everybody back together, and you can. They literally had in the end of the series a pass the baton moment.
Oh God, yes.
And that's
stick in there, guys.
I mean, I don't know, maybe Disney that owns like everything could have been thinking about that a little bit when they bought Star Wars and thought, hey, here's a great. And I mean, now to be fair, Star Trek took 3 years to get to this point. I mean, it was, you didn't get these characters, and I think a lot of the fans wanted this kind of a reunion.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek at its core, and Gene Roddenberry, when he rebooted Star Trek from the William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy show, he wanted an ensemble cast that really connected and shined. And that show gave us that.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart's amazing, but the whole collective, no pun intended, really makes the show great. I do agree with you on the bug. If that would have been a good callback, because they were going to come back, I would have been a good one to have done over the others.
That's one of my all-time favorite episodes.
That's a good episode.
Oh, it's so cool.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it a lot. Whoopi would have been good to see. I can't disagree with anything either one of you said, but it was fun. Yeah. It was fun, and darn it, a little optimistic for the Geritol gang. That was a great kind of moment here. I mean, my goodness, it was the old people were the reason we were able to continue the human race. That's not always something that you hear or see. So that was kind of a cool thing too. So big win with Picard. Went out like a winner. This was great.
Yeah. And I hope they just let it go. And that will be the end of the next generation.
They won't.
And
too much money.
I also read that this is the final season of Discovery.
Yes, I've seen that too.
We're going to see the end of that series, which I'm a little bit disappointed. I hope they get back from where they kind of went off the rails a little bit. So we're going to be losing 2 core Star Trek shows. But
we still have Strange New Worlds, which is arguably the best Star Trek they got going right now. Way better than Discovery. Way better than Discovery.
I don't know.
So
that first season, the first and second season of Discovery were incredible.
But then they decided to jump the shark or jump the
by time travel or whatever. Yes, you're exactly right.
They had to be in the future. They had to go to the future. Nothing worked about that ship or them.
Well, that was terrible, and that's why I think Strange New Worlds is great. Because, and also it is went back to the episodic format. You're not doing season long arcs. You're doing this episode is about this. You have a start, a middle, and a conclusion in the 60 minutes, rather than cliff. I mean, maybe one cliffhanger at the end of the season is cool, from episode 11 to 12, for the final season. Yes, like they did when the original Star Trek, or when they did Next Gen, like the Borg ones, cool. But the way these other Star Treks have all decided that they know they have a core base that'll watch anything. You put Star Trek on, they'll watch every episode. So they make these big long season long story arcs, and it's weird.
Well, and people don't watch TV like that anymore to be really engaged like that. And so I think that's what, and it was an overly complicated story. Plus they got sued about it. So here's to them having a great final season, which I hope kicks off the, what's that? The CIA kind of version of
Section 31 or whatever it was.
38 or Section.
Was it Section 31?
Section 31 with Michelle Yeoh. Ooh, I can't wait for that. I'm 100% in for that. So
let's go back to Strange New Worlds. That's actually being made. I'm excited about watching that. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, we will watch Strange New Worlds. I don't know if we do it episodically, but we'll
I think
see.
we need to.
I'm voting.
We'll see.
I'm voting. I'm hoping. I have no control over anything, but
so two of the three individuals here want to watch it episodically. So you heard it, everybody who's watching this. This is how it runs.
Write in, subscribe, and you can have a vote as to whether we will.
I'm gonna go make about 100 fake dummy emails real quick, and I'm gonna take care of this.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Do a bot. Okay, so next up is the Netflix spy thriller, The Night Agent. And Patrick, let's start with David. David, talk about what you thought of The Night Agent. It's also a book.
I did not realize it was a book. I enjoyed thoroughly The Night Agent. I thought it was a great premise. It opened with a real excitement. I love the beginning. I have to say, I'm giving a bit of a spoiler away, but it's been on for a while. The ending seemed a little, what's the technical term? Lame. That was a really
contrived.
I found Camp David to look like somebody like the Boy Scouts of America.
It probably was.
We've done the Boy Scouts there. Come on now.
It was
Scout here.
That was you guys, they're not in charge of national security at that level, but boy, Camp David was a little underwhelming for me on that. The story, though, as a whole, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Like the performances, it was exciting. It was that part was good. I just felt like the climax of it lacked a little bit in terms of just the layout and where they were. It just that lost a little bit for me. But a good story, fun movie to watch, or a series, I guess I should say. It was, and it went by quick. I mean, it was a really good program by Netflix.
Well, I thought it kind of lagged in the middle a little bit. There were a few episodes in the middle. I was kind of like, okay, I fell asleep on them a couple times, but then it picked up and really interesting. I mean, it's kind of a typical kind of, played out kind of story, but it is interesting, the concept of the night agent, of someone who goes in and does the things that other agencies can't do because it's with the office of the presidency. So I just thought that was pretty cool. And I think the young man who played this, I had wrote it down, but he was in another series here recently. So he is, starting to see a little more of him. He's led 2 kind of series, and I just think that it's a really interesting look at government. And I didn't realize until I looked at the credits, but I knew I loved the act. It's Hong Chow once again doing amazing, just so subtle and so like creepy, kind of you don't know what she's gonna do next kind of person. Just always, she's someone I just can't take my eyes off of to kind of figure out what is she gonna do, how is she involved, what's her story. But yeah, really interesting story. I mean, I feel like the whole family could watch it. I think there were some cuss words. I mean, the girls kind of cussed a lot. I was kind of surprised at that. But and the action is not too gory.
No.
A few garrotings, whatever.
People's brains aren't exploding in their head. Or,
it wasn't like a zombie movie, but there was definitely some very violent moments. Like the guy was getting garroted and his legs are just kicking all over and he's 2 feet off the ground. That's not cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just older kids, but I feel like it's not something that would give you scary stuff at night. But I think it's an interesting story about democracy too, and ambition. And so we'll see next. It is scheduled for a second season, I heard. So, and this is a series of at least 5 books. So there's a lot of source material to draw on. So it'll be interesting to see. Pat, what did you think?
It felt kind of basic spy thriller. It was pretty engaging for the most part, I would say. It grabs you quick enough to drag you into the story, I thought, which is always a tough thing to do when they're going to do some sort of a episodic spy thriller thing. They need to really set the hook in the first episode or 2, and they did a pretty good job. I started caring about the people, but it was just, it seemed implausible, the level of weirdness. The only one person knows this, and only 2 people know this, and I can only tell you this, and I don't work in government like you two, so I know you probably have more experience with this kind of stuff than I do. But for me, it just seemed kind of implausible, the level of secrecy that they were having with this kind of stuff.
No, it was like, what? It was actually not as secret as things are secret. I was like, first off, as somebody familiar with this stuff, I was like,
yeah, there was some stuff that was, there was another Netflix show called The Rookie that it was really fun, but I couldn't watch it with taking it in any way seriously, because I'm like, well, that's an improper payment. That's
exactly.
That's an internal control thing. They wouldn't. You can't get there.
Controls around here.
It was ridiculous. That was, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Pat.
No.
But,
yeah. It's funny. You have to put that stuff aside when you.
I know, but it felt a little contrived, perhaps at parts. But it's like every spy movie where you have, or every spy series where you have the basically the unstoppable, super lucky, walking around like 4-leaf clover, always gets out of jams and stuff with minor scrapes, and I'm just like, law of average is going to catch up with you, bro. You're going to catch a bullet. She's going to catch a bullet. Somebody's going to catch a bullet other than the bad guys. It's just the law of probabilities. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. It stretched my belief ability at points.
Yeah, ours too.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a fun action adventure. It's smarter than some. And so, I think people will enjoy The Night Agent as well. Read the book. Okay. Oh, we have a special guest. Oh, okay.
Someone pushed the wrong button.
R2D4 popped up, so that must be our cue. Because next week, I've been waiting since I saw the trailer for The Citadel with Priyanka Chopra Jonas and wait a minute, who's the other guy?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones, Rob Stark.
Madden or Madsen or
Rob Stark.
The late King of the North.
And I'm gonna tell you what, that is the prettiest cast.
Whatever you want to call it.
Movie. Listen, I met real CIA people, not that pretty.
You don't blame them, they're that pretty. People looking at them all the time. You don't want anybody that pretty.
It kind of, okay, we'll talk about it when we watch it, but it kind of anywho. And I lost my train of thought.
But got her all. Where's your Madsen?
And,
he's too pretty.
Star Wars Visions Volume 2.
There we go.
That's right.
So looking forward to that after the best day of the year. May the 4th is coming up next week. I can't believe May is already here, but it is. And so we will see you next time. We lost a couple of greats this week. We lost Harry Belafonte. just an amazing person. And I had just watched Buck and the Preacher. If you see that with Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier.
The Preacher?
Huh?
What the Preacher?
Buck.
Oh, Buck. Okay, wow.
No.
It got a whole different meaning with the current events, but keep going.
Oh, yeah. And the tabloid king himself, Jerry Springer.
I know that.
I mean, you're lying if you say when the first seasons came out, you didn't watch it.
It's a train wreck. You couldn't help but watch it.
It was silly. And so, it's the downfall of television. But, he was a very interesting guy and a trailblazer in his own right. I don't know, what kind of trail, kind of like a snail trail. But, it's sad to see that era come to an end. So definitely we'll be back next week. And David and Patrick, you want to say goodnight to the people?
So long, everybody. Everybody take care.
All right. I get to say something fun tonight. Wow. Okay. Hey, everybody, keep watching good stuff. Go to the movies. That's what makes these movies make it to the streaming services we all watch. And also be nice to each other. Be excellent to each other.
Be good to yourself and to each other.
Right.
Take care. Bye.